Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today we are talking about this very awesome watch. We're talking about the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra. This is, of course, the latest flagship from Samsung. It is the 47mm LTE version, which means, of course, you can put your own SIM in there, but I've been using it fundamentally as a Bluetooth connected device to multiple devices, including the Galaxy Fold 6, and I have now been using it with the Pixel 9 Pro XL as well, which has been working really well. But I just wanted to talk about the features that I've loved about this watch, whether you should actually consider spending 700 euros and whether or not it's worth your time and money. Let's get into it. Okay, taking a little look around the watch. Let's take it off first of all. Now, to my mind, this is a pretty chunky watch. It is very thick, but it's got this very clever design, which is that, of course, it's a circular screen, but then you also have this square body shape. So it's kind of this squircle situation going on. But the screen itself, of course, is circular, which is of course the most popular form, to be fair, of smartwatches, aside from of course Apple watches, although they are going in that more circle direction. If we go towards the main action buttons, we've got one button here, we've got a back button here, and we've got the action button, which takes you straight to a sporting mode. Now, there we go. If I push that button, it takes me straight to my chosen activity. I can cancel it out by doing that, but that is your action button, which can be programmed to do almost any sport that you can select on the watch. If we then continue to look around, we go underneath and we can see we've got multiple sensors on the underside here. It is a tracking beast. It is very good. It can measure heart rate, skin temperature, it can measure all sorts of blood pressure rates as well as stress levels as well. So it is extremely powerful. And I have to say, the results have been very accurate. I've been really impressed. The auto detection works on 90% of things that you're going to do, such as for me, it was very effective at detecting when I was going for a walk. It would already know that I've been walking for 10 minutes and it would start logging and recording that information. So that is very cool. Continuing on, we've got these big speaker grills here, and these are also pressure sensors as well. And they do work really well for the functionality of taking phone calls. You can actually take a phone call from this device. So if you want to dial a number from the device, or it'll show you your latest history, then you can do that from here. And it is very clear, and it definitely is loud enough. Now, of course, if you're in a very noisy environment, it's not going to be that easy. But if you're in a quieter environment, or you're in a space where there's not too much ambient noise, even in a cafe, to be honest, you'd be okay. But in a very noisy street, that would be much trickier. But it does work really well for that capacity. So the speaker is loud and very good. Continuing on, we've got these awesome, very chunky wristbands here. This is obviously the proprietary one that comes with the watch. There is the famous orange one, of course. This is the white one because I got the white silver stainless steel casing, which I think is really good, and it stands out. Putting on the straps is incredibly easy. You just literally snap them on. It doesn't get any easier. The mechanism they've created for this is incredibly simple, quite technical, to be honest. I'll give them props for the engineering behind that. That is very cool. And just snapping these on is that easy. It is ridiculous, and for that reason, it is a massive winner. This is a very strong bracelet that will go on and fit many wrist sizes, but as you can see, I've got quite a narrow wrist, so really I am clipping on quite the way up here. So it doesn't necessarily feel as comfortable for me because my wrists are quite small. For those that have slightly larger wrists, I think this would fit much better. But I've had many people catch their eye on this and say, oh wow, that's a cool watch, what is that? And it is very clear that it is a premium watch. The build quality in Finale is excellent. I really like these little touches. I particularly like the Samsung logo there on the buckle piece as well, and this double buckle makes it extremely secure when you're using it. So on the wrist, let's put it on. So wearing it, that's what it looks like and that's what it feels like. Now you've got many functionalities here. So at the moment I've got that set up to be a back button. So if I go to my main menu and I hit the top button, it's a back button. If I press that one, I haven't got any functionality there. You can press and hold it for Samsung Wallet if you want it, which can be changed to Google as well. I haven't set those up as yet, but it is all existing here. Now, the thing that most people are going to be interested in this is the battery life. Now, when I first started, and this is the case with all of these Samsung watches, is that they are pretty bad to begin with. I was getting about a day, but that's because they're getting to learn your usage. There's a lot of background installations going on, and so it isn't necessarily that good. But now that the watch has settled, I've had it for about 14 days, it's now getting around 2.5 to 3 days. But my charging process now has changed in that whenever I take a shower, I take off the watch and I put it on its cradle. And of course, it is going to be using the proprietary wireless charging that sits on the bottom there. It just snaps on. It's not a strong magnet, but it just sits on there and it will charge up. Again, it's not incredibly fast, but you can get a full day's charge in about 20 minutes, which of course your average shower is going to be about that. So actually it does work really, really nicely. So if you're adjusting to do that, then it's absolutely fine to go ahead and charge it up every time you jump in the shower. And then if you're going to do sleep tracking, it should get you through the night as well. So that is really, really good and actually quite handy. What I've really enjoyed about this device are the gestures. So this double knock gives you your assistant. Now, when you've got that set up, what will happen is you'll go straight to Google Assistant and you will be able to ask it any question that you can ask Google Assistant. If you're receiving a phone call, you can actually answer it by either pinching your fingers or you can knock and it will cancel the call when it comes through. So those gestures are very, very clever and I've really enjoyed using them and they're actually practical. Once you get used to using them or aware that they're available for you, they're actually extremely good to use, and it does make the tactility, the necessity to touch the screen even less. So I have to say that has been a really clever addition to this watch. And with it being very chunky and really well built, I think this watch is going to last a good long period of time. But the big question is it worth 700 euros? And I'm going to have to say no. It's cheaper than Apple, but I think Apple Watch is overpriced anyway. So I think with the beauty of Samsung is they tend to do a lot of promotions and they tend to do a lot of discounts. And if that is the case, you want to wait until there's a promotion that it comes with some other item, because I managed to get it with a charger in the box from Amazon, links in the description, of course, which is good because of course this is the box for the watch. You're not going to get a charger in the box. You're just going to get the charging cradle and of course the watch. But you're not going to get a charging brick, but from Amazon you do get a charging brick. So that is always worth doing. Or if you can get it at a discounted rate because of a promotion or from Samsung Direct, definitely consider doing that as well. So I would say if you can get it on a deal, then you're better off getting it on a deal from Samsung or from Amazon. But in terms of the watch faces, you've seen all this before. The watch faces are fantastic. This is the unique watch face for the Ultra watch that's only available on this watch, and it is very, very cool. The complications are very detailed. There's an awful lot you can do, but that's another video. If you'd like to see more about that, put a comment below. But you can change an awful lot of things from coloring to styling to the complications that it can actually do. Night mode, of course, is really cool. I absolutely love night mode because it looks like that, which is a darkened red color whenever it either detects you're in a dark place, or you can schedule it as well to go on to night mode as well, which is really, really cool. And I love that. It puts zero strain on your eyes. So it's a great watch, no doubt about that. It is really, really cool, but I don't think it's worth the 700 euros. Now, if you've got the money and you're tied into the Samsung ecosystem, you are definitely going to love this watch, and it should last you the test of time. And of course, you can do lots of different sporting activities with it. But if you're on a budget, obviously you might want to consider the more low-key Samsung 7 Galaxy Watch 7, and that might suit you just the same as this, as the functionalities will be very, very similar, but it just won't have the action button or this build, as you can see. But we know the Samsung watches are really, really good. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you agree with what I've said, please put a comment below. If you disagree and you think this watch is absolute value for money, then I'd love to hear from you either way. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for my next one. Bye-bye for now.